Hi everybody, welcome back
Yeah.
to the world of Cuphead
As Mugman.
as Mugman.
Whoever heard of a barbershop trio? If we can't find our fourth member, we'll never sound right again. Be a pal and let us know if you spot him, won't you?
Oh, keep an eye out.
Yeah, so we're on World 2 now.
Yeah.
This, I think, tells you, through all your battles and all my rhymes, you have failed and perished 53 times.
Ooh.
So this tells you how many times you died.
Nice.
So yeah, we're in World 2. We're back after multiple months of not playing Cuphead.
Yep.
Good timing, fellas. I just added an upgrade to your aeroplanes. Now you can wallop your foes with bombs. Just switch your weapon whenever it strikes your fancy. Try it out. Your aeroplanes are now equipped with mini bombs, switching your weapons anytime during battle. Alright.
We wanted to actually finish this up, because we stopped it because we didn't have time to balance that many series when we started it up.
Yep.
So, get ready for all of my rage.
Yeah.
Ow! Fucking balls! Oh, it's gonna start early, huh?
Apparently. So, as we got the giant Pac-Man face.
I just gotta remember how to play,
Yeah.
too, because I don't remember the buttons.
That is
Yeah.
true. It has been a while.
This is a world of candy, by the way, if you can't tell. It's a gingerbread house, there's a jawbreaker.
Yeah.
It's like fucked up Candyland. God, fucking...
So if Candyland's the child's game, this is definitely for adults.
This is definitely for adults. Yeah, fuck you, Cupcake.
Oh yeah. Well, here. How will you respond to my
Candy corn!
Oh.
Well, only about halfway through that boss battle.
Ha. You ready for round 2, huh? I'll start off with the candy corn.
Yeah, she mixes up her foods.
Yeah, let's see how you take this.
Yeah. Do you like candy corn?
I am one of the few people who do.
You're a monster. Candy corn is the worst.
I don't actually ever buy it, and I can't tell you the last time I've eaten it. But...
I hate candy corn.
Oh, I know. Most people I know do.
Remember back in like elementary school, they would have us bring candy corn in to like do school projects and stuff?
Yeah.
And they'd be like, bring in candy corn in a plastic glove. We're gonna make a candy corn hand. And then they'd be like, now you get to take the candy corn home and eat it. And I'd be like, why though? Why? Candy corn is the worst.
And even if there's something you enjoy, like, just give me the candy. Like, I don't want to make something out of it.
Oh, it's a waffle.
Ooh.
I love waffles.
Yeah, waffles actually sounds pretty good right about now.
Waffles are better than pancakes.
By far.
Fight me on it.
It's no contest.
I was dodging that pretty good.
Yeah.
Ah!
Okay.
Yeah, waffles are, in my opinion, delicious.
Yeah. Definitely gonna be craving some waffles now. Damn
Yeah.
you, candy lady.
I think I've hit the final stage.
Yeah, she's starting to come at you with her gingerbread castle.
Ah! Oh god, it's her actual head.
Oh, did not expect that.
God fucking damn it.
Especially since her head's still attached. All right, round 3. All right, we're starting with the candy corn again. I guess you're admitting that you don't like candy corn. She's realizing. So
Apparently.
I'll play with his fears.
Well, this one's gonna be a wash.
Yep. All right, round 4. Oh, okay, we're back with this guy.
Back with the Pac-Man jawbreaker.
Yep. All right. You're not a ghost, but he's coming for you anyway. So many moving parts, and such a tiny little arena.
Okay,
Oh,
good.
There he goes, there he goes, there he goes. Oh, look at all that poppage. Alright, what you got? What you got? Oh, God.
Did you ever make a candy house? Did you ever make a gingerbread house?
Not really that I would actually be willing to call a gingerbread house. Like, I know I've done it before, but it's not like it was any good.
I think the only time I did it, and the reason I ask is I don't remember if you were in my 3rd grade class or not, because I knew we didn't have the same 4th grade class.
Yeah, I don't think I was for 3rd grade.
Yeah, we made gingerbread houses. Not at Christmas. It was like the end of the year activity. So like we watched the Swiss Family Robinson. If like the 1960s Swiss Family Robinson.
That bubblegum dispenser is no joke.
I know, right?
Yeah, that's a... Oh, so she starts off with them.
I know.
Yeah, that's an interesting time to do gingerbread houses. Like,
Yeah, we did. And then we built gingerbread houses. And
so your teacher was just very much one of those people that are like, you know, Christmas isn't for several months, but let's bust it out anyway.
right?
Only 200 more days till Christmas.
Well, so I made the gingerbread house, right?
I didn't even the
And-
guy with the knife.
Oh, the jelly bean with a knife.
Yeah. That's pretty good.
So I made the gingerbread house, and it had, you know, candy and everything decorating the whole thing, and it was really cool. And I get on the bus, and what do I do with, like, what every other child does when on the bus with a house made of candy and gingerbread?
You eat it.
I ate it! Me and the kid who lived across the street ate it. And by the time we got it back to my house, it was essentially a milk carton with a few pieces of gingerbread and frosting left on it, maybe a couple pieces of candy. And my mom was so disappointed
Oh, of course.
because my mom she knew we were making gingerbread houses.
Yeah. She was
knew
looking forward to you bringing that home.
Well, she was looking forward to seeing what I made. And
Yeah, you don't leave kids with candy.
no.
Yeah, the only time I did a gingerbread
So I've always felt guilty about that, by the way.
Yeah.
Like, I made a gingerbread house and my mom didn't get to see it. And I'm like, I could always make a gingerbread house now, but it's like, well, I'm 29.
Yeah.
I don't think it has the same emotional impact as when I was 9.
Yeah, not no more.
But I've held on to this guilt, David, for 20 years.
It's time to let it go.
Or I could just make a gingerbread house.
True. Yeah, the only time I made one was at ODC. It was one of our projects the one year, and I mean, it could technically be called a gingerbread house, but it's not like it was really something I was particularly proud of.
Yeah.
No, so my biggest regret when it came to a project being made in buses was,
I love that there's a very specific
yeah,
qualification. My biggest regret when it came to school projects and the bus.
yeah, was the one project I wish I had been older before we did, because I probably would have put more effort into it as opposed to
When they had us do it.
yeah, because I'm pretty sure, like, it would have been either 5th or 6th grade, something like that. But it was basically, I had to get like a twig, like with a couple like branching things, and had to make like a tree house in it.
I do not recall this.
Oh, this was again ODC.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So yeah, we had to just take this tree and like with balsa wood and stuff, like make kind of a tree house inside of this little tiny twig. It was a cool, fun little project, but of course, you know, bus ride home, it did not survive.
No, I would imagine not.
Yeah. So yeah, parts of it were still together, but most of it, yeah, did not survive the bus trip.
Fuck! Oh, I was getting her close.
Yeah?
Good day for us.
Alright.
Here goes.
It was a lot better when she wasn't summoning that, bubble gum.
Yeah. Well, actually, I think I figured out how to deal with him pretty easily.
Yeah, because the candy corn is pretty just straightforward. Same
He
thing.
goes like halfway across the screen, then he switches.
Yeah, same thing with the jawbreaker.
I say, and then he doesn't switch halfway through the screen.
Yeah, he caught you off guard with that one.
Okay, who are you sending out next?
What you get? What you get?
This is the guy that gives me the most trouble currently.
Yeah, the cupcake. Oh.
Oh, fucking jelly bean!
Yep. They got you while you were distracted. Had your back turned.
They really did.
Yeah. Oh.
Oh,
Oh.
it did it again.
Yep, launched right into you. Okay, there we go. Alright. Alright, who you going? Okay, more jawbreakers.
And the Jawbreaker's pretty easy to handle.
Yep, because very similar and just basically just around in circles.
Yeah, but no, school projects were always weird, especially the ones you like had to bring home or work on.
Yeah, because it was like you do realize these things don't translate well to travel.
That's the hardest part. Like, you had to build it at home, and then you had to travel it. I remember in the first grade, we had to make a lollipop stick house. And we did it at home. Like, it was an at-home project.
Yep, that's just asking for trouble.
Okay.
A brawl is surely
Well, I still have the scar from this project. Because I made it, and my mom and I made it with hot glue. And the hot glue got away from me and got my forearm. And so I still have a little scar on my forearm from where I got pretty badly burned with the hot glue.
Yeah, it's kind of funny how many like projects when you're younger involve hot glue.
And yet now that I'm an adult, I never fucking use hot glue.
Yeah,
Ever.
especially because it's something like you legitimately can burn yourself with. And yet it's such a common thing.
Yeah, see, he wasn't too bad now that I've kind of learned his secret.
Yeah.
I just gotta listen for the, that guy.
Yeah.
And there's a specific audio cue for him. It's that, ha!
Pretty much. And then her occasional blast.
Oh, shit.
Oh, he kind of changed it up just enough to throw you off.
He did.
Oh,
Shit!
Oh, okay, candy corn. Stop getting all different. Take
See if I can
this.
damage her with the milk real quick.
Yeah, and at least got her to go straight to this. Now we just gotta find a way to get away from her damn head.
Pretty much.
Oh, and the
Oh, God.
big
Oh,
ass-
fucking shit!
big ass peppermint. Whew.
a brawl is surely brewing. Here goes.
No, there's another project we had to do, though. We had to make paper mache people. Or, like, not paper mache. We had to make puppet people in the 6th grade. And I made a puppet of Chris Rock. Because it was like an autobiography thing, and we had to make a puppet.
Yeah.
So I made a puppet of Chris Rock, and I would never forget this. I got the puppet here. Or, not here. I got it to school.
A great plan.
And we're doing our lockers, and I had a bottom locker. Because in our middle school, you had top locker or bottom locker. They weren't like the long lockers you see on TV.
Yep.
They were short lockers that were half and half, and you either got a top or a bottom. And I was a bottom. And so there I am on the bottom, and the person above me, as I'm putting my books away, putting my project away, shit. I'm seeing if I can get through most of the rounds without getting hurt.
Yeah. Seems
As
weird.
I'm putting my books and project away, they drop their giant-ass math book on my head, and somebody else came and pushed them or something. Book fell on my head, they fell over. I'm not paying attention to the game enough.
A brawl is
And
surely brewing.
my Chris Rock puppet got stepped on. And his head was made of styrofoam that we had covered,
Yep.
you know. So the styrofoam head essentially got, like, flattened on one side. And I was like, motherfucker.
Yeah.
I was so pissed.
I would be too.
There's another project in the 10th grade. I was in an intro theater class, right? And we were learning about Greek tragedy plays. And in Greek tragedy, they used really big masks, right?
Yeah.
To, like, convey emotion and everything. So, like, you'd wear the big sad face or the big happy face or something, because it was supposed to be hyperbolic of expression, and the masks helped to do that. And so we had to make a mask to bring in for the class to see. And so my mask, me and my mom, she helped me out because I'd never done paper mache before. And so she helped me create like a paper mache mold mask, but it was too big that the mache wouldn't dry all the way. So what we did was we took the paper mache and the mask, and we put it on like a cake plate and kind of like fastened it down in a way so like you could put the cake plate kind of up to your face and be like, look, this is how big the mask was, this is how ridiculous it looked, and
Yeah.
You know, it was a cool project. My teacher loved it. She said it was one of the best masks that she'd gotten in years. Fuck! I was about to say, I gotta be careful. This candy corn, he keeps getting me. But I will never forget, there was a freshman girl in that class who went to look at my mask, and as she did, she picked it up and flipped it upside down, and the whole thing just fell and exploded to the earth. My teacher was more upset than I was. She was pissed. She was like, "How dare you ruin his project?"
Yeah.
And I'm like, "I'm still getting a grade, right?"
You saw it. You liked it. Yeah, that's rough. That would just suck on everybody's front, because I would just be distraught if I was the one who had broke somebody else's,
Project, right.
Yeah.
Yeah, it would be not a fun time for anyone.
Yeah. I'll never forget, I think it was 8th grade. There was some project we had to do
Shit.
that I just did not want to do. Or no, I think I did it, but we had to present it in front of the class, and I was like, I don't want to do that. So it took so long to like do like the various presentations. So it was like a multi-day affair.
Fuck. Yeah.
And I just remember it got to the point where like the teacher kind of lost track of like who had presented and everything, and I managed to convince them that I had already did my presentation.
Wow, you lied?
I think I was the only one who didn't actually have to present. I'm sure, you know, pretty certain they realized eventually, and you know, I lost a whole bunch of points for not doing the presentation. But I was fine with that, because I was like, I don't feel like getting up in front of the class.
Public speaking. It's a skill, but is it really necessary?
Yeah.
I guess it depends on what you want to do with life, because some jobs very much require you publicly speak, but other jobs don't. Like,
Yeah.
my job requires it.
Yeah.
Your job does not.
Yeah. It's something I wish I would have taken seriously over the years. But at the time, it was like, nope, I'm not doing that. Nope, 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 nope. Don't make me talk in front of people.
Yeah. Speaking of public speaking, ooh, my waffle buddy. Have not
Yeah.
seen him in a while.
No.
Speaking of public speaking, I took public speaking my senior year because, so at our high school, essentially, oh, that was lucky.
Woohoo!
At our high school, essentially, seniors could opt to get out of class early if they had enough credits, like a work program.
Yeah.
So you only had to stay 3 of the 4 blocks out of the day. And so by the time I became a senior in high school, I pretty much had completed all of the requirements I needed to graduate, other than I had to take a government class and a 12th grade English class. So I only needed 2 classes to graduate. But we had to fill up my schedule regardless. And so they ended up, because of the AP courses and everything I took were only available at certain times, and the government class they threw me into, even though I applied for like early release and all that, they gave me like a 4th block government class and this and that, and they couldn't find me first blocks. They hadn't given me a first block class at all. And you might remember, I came over to your house and showed you this.
Yeah.
And I was like, I have to go over there and get it straightened out. So they essentially had given me study block for first block both days because I had applied for early release, and rather than giving the early release, just gave me study block first thing in the morning.
Yeah, which is just...
And then no lunch.
Yeah.
I was like, I'd much rather have lunch and study block than...
Yeah, like nobody wants to get up early in the morning to then go just for a study block.
And then you don't eat all day.
Yeah, like there's no point to that.
So I ended up, getting my scheduler out. I ended up getting out early on A days. But B days I had to stay the whole day because of the AP classes and everything. And I had no lunch on AP days, like B days, because I had first block class, then I had AP Psych, AP Physics, and Government. So I was very hungry when I got home those days. If I ate at all, because then I had theater, and I might not have gotten home till 8 o'clock. So I could have gone the whole day not eating till 8 p.m., 9 p.m.
Which is not a good thing to kind of start
No.
driving and the people. I mean, I guess it gets you prepared.
Prepared for work.
Yeah.
But no, the point of all this is the 2 first block classes I took was I took Intro Theater, which was my A-Day first block class, and then I took Public Speaking, which was my B-Day first block class. So my B-Days would be Public Speaking, Psychology, Physics, Government.
Yeah.
A great slam and then
Remember what I?
Or was it Physics, Psych, Government? I think it was Physics, Psych, Government. Because I think I had Psych before Government class, because I could sleep in my Psych class.
Yeah. I don't fully remember, because I know I ended up just taking full classes instead of getting out early, even though I didn't need to. I still don't actually know why. But like I know I took statistics just for the hell of it, because it was like the only math class I had left that I hadn't taken. Well, I was like, fine, I'll take it. Obviously took AP Physics just for the sake of taking it. I know I would have taken some kind of art class, but I don't remember like what other things I took that I really didn't need to bother with.
Yeah. My public speaking class, though, the reason I brought that up was there was a project we had to do in that class where we had to, sorry, paying attention to gumballs. We had to pick a speech or a monologue. And it could be from a movie, it could be from history, whatever. So I picked the speech that FDR gives after Pearl Harbor. You know, the whole, you know, the only thing we have to fear is fear itself. You know, that whole thing?
Yeah.
And our public speaking teacher was like, and if there's an accent that the person has when they give it, see if you can do the accent and this and that. And she'd give us, you know, not extra points, but it'd be more of a credible representation. Nobody else tried to do the accent of their speech. And I went in and I was like, you know, fear. Like I started doing the FDR accent. And the kids in the class started laughing because I did the accent. And she was like, hey, he was braver than the rest of y'all. He actually tried to do the accent.
Yeah.
I was like, fuck yeah, I did. Because the only thing we have to fear is capitalism. And fear itself.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a shame how much people kind of just look at the idea of like doing different voices and stuff as like, you know, that's silly. Like, why would you do that? Like,
yeah. Well, and then the other class I took senior year that was my throwaway class was I took Art Foundations, which is basically just intro to art. Not that that's a bad class, you know, people need that class. It was a throwaway class for me.
yeah.
Like, if you were a senior taking Art Foundations, it was a throwaway class. Because typically you took Art Foundations your freshman or sophomore year, so you could take the more advanced art classes going forward. So there I am with like 2 or 3 other seniors in Art Foundations, last class of the day, and we're just like, this is so dumb. Because we would have a project, and we would have like 3 weeks to work on this project. We would finish it the first or second day, and then just dick around for the other, like, weeks of the project.
Yeah, that's essentially what 2 of my online classes were like. One was actually a public speaking class. Easiest kind of public speaking class you can have.
Because you took it online. I don't even get how an online public speaking class works.
You basically just record a video of you doing whatever.
But that's not public speaking. You're just speaking at home.
Yeah.
Like, this would be the exact same thing, but this is not public speaking.
Yep, but it was called public speaking, and it was all online, so it was just you recording videos for like other people to like watch and comment on. Which is still weird, like, because you're kind of just talking to nothing.
Yeah, you're talking to yourself.
So it takes, you know, but it was very much like each week, you know, we'd have like a project that, like, you know, a certain thing to do, and all it really resulted on was me getting on to like record that, and then the rest of the week had nothing to do because it was literally the only thing. Though my teacher did really love one of my submissions, because we were supposed to basically do like a
Fuck!
short little, I forget how long it had to be, but we were supposed to do like one basically reviewing product, kind of like our opinions of it, like things like that, like all kinds of stuff like that, and just because it wasn't a class I particularly cared about, and I was like, pretty, very much just doing it because I had to, and I was like, well, I'm gonna have some fun with it, so I just basically did a whole thing on like a made-up project.
Oh yeah?
Just a fictional product, made it really silly and everything, but my teacher actually loved it. Because at first I was like, I don't know how this is going to go. They might be mad that I'm not doing like a legitimate, but no, they liked it.
That's cool.
Yep. The other one that was a big waste of my time was I had to do a very basic like math class.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, because, needed the math credit even though it's an art school.
Gen Eds.
Yep. Even though, very much it did far more complicated math than high school. Like, it was literally, I think, just like algebra.
I did take algebra in college.
Yeah.
I didn't try.
It was... So basically we had...
Because I took calc in high school, so I didn't bother trying with algebra in college.
Yeah, I had to take it. The way it was set up was basically each week we had a test we had to take, and then there was this math website you had to go on to, like, complete the work. That would, like, walk you through all the stuff. I logged in the very first day, did everything on the website in a matter of, like an hour or two, because it was so simple. And the rest of the month, didn't have to do anything but log on, like, when the test went live and finish it. Because you could literally get onto that website and do everything all at once. You didn't have to wait
Makes
for...
sense. No! God! Fucking damn it!
Oh! So close. So yeah, so that was like the easiest month of my college time, because everything was done on the very first day of the class.
Right.
So I then got to focus the rest of my time legitimately on, like, my art.
Yeah. Yeah, I took algebra in college, and I didn't really care for it, because I'd already taken calc, and I already had kind of issues with math going forward because of the calc class we took in high school, because the teacher treated me so shittily. To give you all an example of this, I constantly was berated and in trouble in that class, and nobody believed me that the math teacher had it out for me. Until one day, David's class got brought into mine because their teacher had to do something, like go somewhere, and I'm sitting down near David, and David's trying to talk to me, and she looks up and goes, "Matt, stop talking! Stop disrupting him from his work!" And I'm like, I wasn't even talking!
Yeah. I mean, I know it also doesn't help just the fact that, I don't talk a lot, so...
Yeah, but she didn't know that.
Yeah.
She doesn't know you.
But just in general, there's been a few times I've accidentally got people in trouble because of the one time I actually do say something. But yeah, no, that was very...
Yeah, so that left a bad taste in my mouth when it came to calculus.
Yeah, my bad. Only really time I had like regret when it came to math was...
Well, and then because I had to teach myself calculus because she wouldn't help me.
Yeah.
So I had to teach it to myself. But no, your math thing?
So it was during my brief period in community college before I decided, nope, this was a mistake. Because I didn't take my SAT or whatever, I had to go in and like do like their little kind of test to like decide where you can place. So everything went pretty well. Like, kind of was in like the typical like kind of like English class I was expecting, like history, all that kind of stuff. Math, they were like, okay, well, based off your score, like, you can basically go straight to like straight to like calculus 2 or something like that. It was like some kind of,
high level math, yeah.
Yeah. Problem was, a lot of the stuff you needed to know for that, they don't teach, like, that you need to know from calculus, like, they don't teach in high school calculus.
So you would have had to pretty much play catch up.
Yeah, so there was a lot of stuff that, like, I would have learned if I had taken calculus in college that I didn't learn in high school. So, like, so much of it I was just completely lost on, where I eventually just ended up dropping the class.
Oh, jeez.
But it was like, that was my mistake, because they were like, basically they were like, you can take this, but because of your scores, like, you can take this if you want. So I was like, sure, why not? And then it was immediately like, oh yeah, this was a mistake.
Yeah.
Never felt so useless in a... but it was a lesson learned. It was still better than my history class that was pointless. And my English class that was pointless.
I took a CS class in college. It was completely pointless. Computer science class.
Yeah, my English class consisted of just showing up, writing like a paragraph or two
Oh,
about
shit.
something, and then leaving. So literally would only be in the class for like 10 minutes, which, seeing as it was, 7 in the morning, was not exactly desirable.
No, because you much rather would be in bed those 7 minutes.
Yep, especially when next class wasn't till like 9 something. So it eventually got to the point where
Oh god!
I just stopped going to the class. Oh,
I did it!
Yes, that was so close.
Oh, that was butt clenched. I screamed and scared the cat.
Oh, I
Oh,
really thought it had you there at
I
that
did
last
too.
second.
oh,
Oh.
oh, that's so close.
But yeah, so basically I only went into that class on the days our essays were due and just stopped going the class period because I was like, why am I coming in here just for a busy paragraph? Like, that doesn't do anything.
No, it's completely pointless.
Yep, especially since, much like a lot of college classes, it was like, buy this textbook that I never ended up using. And then my history class was just as bad because it was essentially, we had the textbook, we would be told to like read certain chapters like before the next class, but all the class consisted of was her basically summarizing what we just read.
Uh-huh.
Like, literally, you could, if you actually read it, you could tell exactly the order she was going in. Everything was just like you were writing a summary. And,
Just let me do it at home at that point.
Yep, and that was essentially the class. So I was like, why do I need to come in here for you to summarize what I just read? And then she wouldn't even announce like our homework or anything in class. It'd be like, go home and get on the website.
That's dumb.
Yeah, and I was like, why am I coming in here then? Like, I can read the textbook on my own. I don't need to waste my time coming here for that.
Yeah.
Especially when we don't do any projects in class. It's all go home and get on this. So, and then she'd have a habit of just canceling class at times without actually telling anybody.
That was kind of how, so I had a friend in college named Steph, who, David, you're familiar with, but
Yeah.
to those of you who aren't, I had a friend in college named Steph, and she took an intro class in college for philosophy. And her intro philosophy class was kind of exactly like that. She had a guy who looked like he came to work every day drunk, or hungover. He was sloppy. He would cancel class at random times, and not like give them any knowledge. Like I don't think she learned anything in that class.
Yeah, I know I sure didn't.
Because she was barely in the class.
Yep.
And then when she was, she'd be in there maybe 20 minutes. Because again, he just... Ah!
Oh,
Oh, that's
wow.
so much harder.
Yeah, that was unexpected.
A brawl is surely brewing.
Yeah, I never really had a problem with any professor I had in college. That's a lie. So, here's the thing. I'm a good writer. I'm a good critical writer. I'm not saying like I'm a good writer in that I can write like a book. I'm a good critical writer. If you want a research paper, an essay or something, I'm good at that. On my SATs, I tested highest, like, in the writing portion. Like I'm good at that section. And my reading analysis. Like, those are my two highest comprehensions, and I only lost a few points in each. Like, I was super high in those. I entered college, and you have to take a writing placement test, right? I took it. I failed it.
Really?
I did. And the reason was because apparently I used too many commas.
How?
You know what commas I was using? correct ones
Yeah.
to, write complex compound sentences.
Yeah, it's very much a part of our language.
But apparently they didn't want that. They wanted simple sentences. So I had to take the remedial English class.
See, that's just...
In my first year of college, I had to take the 050 class. So it wasn't even my 100 level class I needed to graduate. This was a non-credit course that essentially allowed for you to teach you how to write to get you up to college snuff.
Yeah, see, that's...
Keep in mind, I took AP English. I got a 4 or a 5 on the AP English exam. I just didn't transfer the credit over, but you still would have had to take the writing placement test.
Yeah, because I know I had to take mine, and I did perfectly fine on it. Like, they put me straight into the, English classes that I need. So it was like, if I could pass mine with the little bit of writing I do, there's no reason you should fail.
Yeah, so I failed it, and I took the class. I hated that professor because she hated her job. And she took it out on the students, and you could tell she hated her job.
Yeah, see, that's just...
And then, again, Steph, who I just brought up a minute ago, she had the same professor, but for her 100 level class, and yeah, she hated that professor, because the professor hated her job. And she was just bitter about a lot of stuff, and she took it out on the students. But when I was in that class, the teacher even told me, she was like, "Why are you in here? You're a good writer." And I don't know. So I got to the... Sorry, I focused on feathers.
Yeah.
I got to the...
Treehouse is down.
Yeah, he's on phase 2 of 3.
Yeah, this is a long...
Yeah, this is a long boss battle that we might have to pick up in the next episode. But I took it, and I wrote simple sentences. I had to write a paper about, contraceptives and STDs. So I was like, people should use condoms. Condoms help to prevent STDs.
It's just so painful.
Yeah,
And this is freaking college.
Yeah, so I wrote that, and it was like, people should use condoms. The reason people should use condoms are to prevent STDs. That's what I'd had to write. When normally I would write, people should use condoms because condoms are effective at preventing the transference of STDs. That's the kind of stuff I would normally write. Which is not an incorrect sentence in any way. But I passed writing my paper on people should use condoms.
Oh, God.
Condoms prevent STDs. So then I had to take an exit exam to get out of college, to make sure I was up to writing snuff to graduate from my school. And so I took it. And I failed it. Now keep in mind, at this point, I had published work. I had professors. I think I had published work. If not, I had published work within the next, couple years. But I had professors who had published work, who were currently publishing and releasing things, who would read my papers and grade my papers, and I'd get A's. No points off on these papers whatsoever. And these are professors who would take off for writing problems.
Yeah.
Nothing. Getting nothing taken off. I'm getting 97, 98s, 100s on these papers. Consistently. For years. I get to my exit exam. Take it. Failed it. And I'm pissed.
I would be too.
Because I'm like, there's no way, there's no reason I should be continually failing these types of exams when I'm not getting told how to correct it in any way during my education. When people who are publishing work are telling me that my writing is up to snuff, So, luckily, I didn't have to retake the exit exam after I failed it, because they sent out an email to everyone saying that they had changed the graduation criteria, and as long as you had gotten a B or higher in your 110, 111 courses, so your 2 English required courses to graduate, you didn't have to take the exit exam. And I had A's in both of them. So I was like, oh, cool. I now don't have to take it. So that always bothered me. Those, because they judge them on such a broken, like, not on a broken, but on like a simplified rubric.
Which makes no sense for what's supposed to be higher learning.
Well, it's because they have to grade them so quickly
Yeah.
that they're not actually reading everything, they're instead looking for certain things. And so I use compound complex sentences. So they're looking at it and they're seeing a bunch of commas, and if they see that I use it wrong in one place, they then assume I've used it wrong all over the paper. And so that's why now when I grade my students' work, I read everything my students give me.
Yeah.
And I'm not just going through like, oh, let me just blast through this and not read what you submitted to me.
Yep. Oh, you messed up there. That must mean everything's wrong.
Yeah. Fuck. Alright, well, we'll pick this up in the next episode, because this might take a bit.
Bye.
Bye, everybody.